Alright, how we all doing? Just gonna take a quick, very quick, very quick little look at Rocket League on Nintendo Switch. I'm not the best Rocket League player in the world. I play Rocket League on PC and PS4 with my mates for a laugh. Straight away, I'm not particularly fussed about graphics. I'm not usually all that fussed about frame rate either. As long as the experience is there and it's playable, I'm happy with that. And then later on tonight, we're going to look into the cross-play, assuming it's enabled, between PC and Xbox One and Nintendo Switch. So that I can play... I'm going to try and play with some of the people I play online, because we have no idea how this is actually going to work. Let's have a look. Ooh, Eula. I have to read it. It's my hyper-fast reading skills. Right, hang on. There we go. I just went a bit derp there and there. Forgot to put the sound on. I was like, why is there no sound? Right, so this game is like 15 bucks. Like £15 and 5p or something on the British store. On the eShop. Ooh, frame drop. I mean, graphically, I'd say that look alright. I know that as you get further away, I think there's some dynamic scaling going on. But either way, if this works, and it's done by Panic Button, who recently ported over Doom to the Nintendo Switch. Respectable efforts. Let's have a look. I've already bought my DeLorean, which was £1.50. I believe you can play cross-play, Jet. We just don't know how yet. I haven't been told how. I haven't seen anywhere online saying how. But you are supposed to be able to play with PC, Xbox One, and Switch. We're all supposed to be able to play together. What's it called? My brain's just gone. The PS4 is the only one that can't. Although, from what I have heard, PS4 can still play with PC players in some cases. So, all I really want to do is see how the game kind of plays. Cool. So I can't actually remember what the buttons are on an Xbox pad. Hold B to jump. Which one's B again? I keep remembering that the Xbox has different buttons. The layout's slightly different. Jump. Nailed it. Yeah, you can pick it. Like Rocket League on most platforms, you can get it on sale really, really cheap. But like this is new out today on Nintendo Switch, and I'm not gonna begrudge paying. You know, like people said to me about Doom on Nintendo Switch is quite pricey. It's like £40–50. But the fact is, what's that? Hold L and double tap B to dodge forwards. Okay, so B. Did I just mess that up? Yeah. There we go. Yeah, like people saying how Doom is so much cheaper on other systems than it is on the Nintendo Switch. And the trick is, Panic Button had to port the entire thing over. I'm not going to complain about, I'm not going to complain paying, you know, a higher price for a game that's just literally been ported over from ground up. You know, they have to be paid. They did the work, they need to be paid. So, oh, why didn't it come out at £15 on the Switch? It's like, because, you know, X button? What one's X? Oh, okay. You know, I'd love it for if these games all came out at a lower price on the Switch, but, you know, developers have to be paid, so... Power slide. Y button. Yeah. Control-wise, it's you know, it's good. Graphically, you can see it. There are some pretty serial differences. I don't remember that being part of the tutorial. Let's see. I mean, I could complain about it, but it's not that bad, to be fair. Like, graphically, this would be perfectly fine. It's nowhere near as bad, at least, than, you know, playing at 640 by 480 on low on one of my work laptops. Yeah, same people who didn't complain about Skyrim's price. See, I'm not a huge fan of Bethesda published, or Bethesda developed games. I pressed the wrong button, like an idiot. I'm not a fan of Bethesda developed games, but I probably wouldn't mind picking up Skyrim on the Switch, because the idea of it being portable, even if it's only like 720p, you know, medium low quality, 30 FPS, the idea that I have that entire world in my back pocket, and trust me, the Nintendo Switch does fit in my back pocket, that's ace to me. Get a couple of hours on the go. Even, right, let's put it this way. PC Gaming Master Race Suffolk Ram from Ram Nerds said that he would happily buy a Nintendo Switch just for the idea of being able to play games like Doom, and if they made Dishonored and stuff like that. You know, at the end of the day, you pay for what you know, you only pay for what you want, and if you want to play Skyrim on the go, you either buy a gaming laptop or you get it on a Nintendo Switch. Oh, I missed that one. Miles off. Here we go. No, bastard. There we go. Actually, let's see. So, if I hit plus... I'm still not used to the control... Let's see if there's... I mean, what is the online mode? Does it just throw me in with randoms, or... If I private match it. Create a private match. Team size... Party only, so that's good. How do you do this then? Create party. All I want to do is just literally see. Okay, so only one person I know is online. So how do I add people outside of... Oh, okay, so you get thrown in with just complete randoms. That's a bit of a ball ache. I was hoping that, I just want to say thank you for Flash to mentioning that apparently you just get thrown in with randoms. If that's the case, that's going to wind me up a bit, because make a game with a lobby. Okay, cool. I was just wondering how people found... You know, how do people actually find you if you're on other... I was just curious how we actually find each other, because most of my lot, that's what we were saying, like, well, most of the other games use the Steam overlay. Like, so you jump in and you say, oh, here's my friends on Steam, or in this case, oh, look, here's my friends on Nintendo Switch, and I can just join them. But, like, how do people from, say, the Nintendo Switch find people on the PC and stuff like that? You know what? Just gonna set it. I know I'll set it to rookie to start with, just for a laugh. Just have a little drive about. Okay, so we need to make a private game with crossplay enabled. Add a password to it. And then tell them to find you during private match. Okay, interesting. So that's what I'll be doing this evening then, if oh, fucking hell. Like I say, I am not a very good Rocket League player. Ah, come on, man. Making a right ass of yourself. I've never seen this arena before either. Just thrown out there. I want to know how you get the Samus stuff and the Mario stuff. Not that really matters because I'll be using Go Team DeLorean the entire way. Oh, missed. I am awful at this game. I am really awful at this game. Need so much practice. The horrible thing is, of all of my mates, I'm probably one of the better players. Although I don't know about Jet. I don't think I've ever played. We haven't ever played Rocket League before, have we, Jet? Yeah, go on, guys, score! Woo! Score for me! You can't party up with PC and Xbox yet. Okay, so it's still being worked on. Okay, that's cool. I'm fine with that. You little prick. Have they got any kind of dates for... Motherfucker. Have they got any dates for when did Rocket League come out on Nintendo Switch? Today! This morning it was on the store. I thought the store was going to update at about 3 PM GMT. It's now... Well, I have no idea what time it is now. 10 AM. So if you want it, have a look on your store. If not, wait till kind of dinner time. Usually, I tend to see it go for the school run. So it's usually like 3 PM they tend to get stuff on. One sec, let me just pause to read. Oh, fuck it. If I just rookie, it's a fucking local match. It doesn't matter. Please tell me that's not going to go in. If it did, that'd be really bad. Really? I want to read the comments, guys. Stop playing the... Right, I'm going to stop. I can't. It's addicting. It's Rocket League. Ah, fuck. Apparently Jet's pretty bad too. In the description of the streams, feel free to like add me on Steam, Switch, PS4. Get it out. Because I'm on... Oh, PS4 and Steam usernames are the same. Have I got that listed anywhere, Jet? Oh, fucking scrub. But hang on, I just want to read the comments. Played it a fair bit on PC. Had it already. Waiting to get paid. It's pretty fun to play handheld. Okay, early next year. That's rad. Thanks very much for the follow, dude. Guys, I'm pretty much... My Switch, if you message me, then I'm pretty much usually free. It's just when I'm looking after my two spuds. But then, my two spuds have both said that they want this game. So, I'm probably going to be playing with screaming children as well. So, if if you're fine with getting humiliated by a 7 and an 8-year-old, because they are way better at games like this than I am. Oh, you dick. Then, yeah, I'm always about to play. Just, you know, normally 8 PM GMT. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, good job. Just add me on all the platforms, because, like I said, I own it on PS4, I own it on PC, and now I own it on Switch. I'll be honest with you, I didn't really have the cash to burn on it, but I just wanted to see what it was like, and because a lot of my mates on PC were like, hey, can we play? If you get it, can we play? And I was like, I don't know, can we play? It's supposed to have crossplay on it, but... The annoying thing is, though, that Sony didn't get in on this. You know, oh, we have to protect our user base. Like, really? Really? Oh. Oh, friends request. Woohoo! I'm going to say this plays really quite well, considering. I mean, obviously, graphically, it's not... You know, this ain't PS4 quality, but it looks really good, considering the videos that have been up and the trailers and that. This is actually, you know, quite a good-looking little title. And it plays quite nice. Frame rate is solid. It's not like a lot of the other games I've played that come out on Switch, and they make massive changes to make it work. Because I don't mind graphics taking a huge hit if it means that we can actually play the game well. If the experience is here, then I'm happy. And so far, I'm going to say Rocket League, Panic Button, you've done a good job. Did a good job with Doom too, if anyone's wondering. That one, that's really good. It's got a few hiccups on it, but it's a good game. 1 minute remaining, and then I'll call this stream quits if that's okay, because I've got some phone calls to make, but I will be online later. I was actually going to play some Doom, but then I realised I had phone calls to make. You know, work. Well, the bonus here is you could literally be on your lunch break, bust out some League. I think that's the best, really, that's the best part of the Nintendo Switch, is that you can just, you know, bung it in your bag, and you've got these pretty big games, albeit not as good looking as they are on other platforms, and... No, they've got a shot on goal, and they scored it. GG. GG, bots. I liked Doom. I've played Doom on... See, here's the thing with me, okay? I've played games I own on Switch that I also own on PC. Oh, 1 second. Door. Dup. Oh, I thought that was my copy of LA Noire turning up for the Nintendo Switch, but it wasn't. Oh, shut up, Jet. That's the joys of self-employment. I can work whenever I want, and most of the time I don't. That's why I'm poor. Yeah, as far as like games and that I own on PC, that I also own on Switch, like Doom I own on PC, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 I own on PC, this I own on PC, and I've played them all on PC. I've never completed Doom, but you know, I know what it's supposed to look like, and I know what it's supposed to run like, and in the grand scheme of things, they're fine. I had this one guy rip into me because I said that Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 was a fun game on Switch, and I got absolutely destroyed by this guy. I was like, it's perfectly fine. It's like, oh, it runs at really shitty frame rates and the graphics aren't as good. It's like, you're telling me the lowest powered system on the market doesn't have the best version? Say it ain't so, man. That was ridiculous, you know? It's like, this is... The Nintendo Switch is 2-year-old mobile hardware. It's like an Nvidia X1, right? The fact that they can even get stuff like Doom 2 run on it, for me, is amazing. The idea that once you're moving fast enough in games like Dragon Ball Xenoverse and Doom, very rarely do graphics and frame rate even play a part in it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've got a reasonable quality PC. Not a great PC, but a reasonable PC. I play Doom 2016, Ultra 1080p, 60 frames a second locked. You know, to me, that didn't even look that good. Doom is all lighting effects. The Switch can't do that, but the fact that you can still rock around smashing people's faces in and shotgunning people into the ground, what more do I want, man? Like, taking on, like, Hellspawn on the bus. I don't go on the bus, but I'm just saying, like, could you imagine that? You're on a bus, you know, and you're just smashing someone's face and you've just curb stomped some fucking demon into the floor. I mean, I played Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 to completion, like start to finish on PC, 1080p, 60 frames a second, ultra settings, right? Then I played it through on Nintendo Switch, and that's like what, 1080p cheese at 30 FPS, perfectly fine for the way that I played it. Also, GG Flash, I would never work in retail again. So, the weird things are, though, retail ain't bad, it's the customers that suck in retail. Most of the time, if you work with a good team, everything's fine. For me, some of my favourite jobs have been factory work. And I always used to really, like, whine about factory work back in the day, but that was some of the best stuff I've ever done. Bounce off the wall, bounce off the wall. That was... that was miles off. Dub. You scrub! Start, like, screaming at bots. I wonder what it's like with the Joy-Con grip. Because right now I'm using it with a Pro Controller, just in case anyone's curious. I play pretty much everything with a Pro Controller. Dub. What next big games are people actually looking into on this thing anyway? So I know Skyrim's coming out later on, but for some reason Skyrim's pre-order price is ridiculously high. Good one, Jet. Let's have a look. 55-minute train ride to my university. Dude, don't even remind me about train rides to uni. I remember having to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I might have been 4 o'clock in the morning. Catch a train at the local station for about 5, half 5. And I wouldn't even get to my first lectures until 9 o'clock in the morning. It's ridiculous, because you then had to... You'd get to the station that was on one side of the city, and then have to travel to the university on the opposite side of the city using public transport. That was... ugh, painful. And it didn't take long for me to get a motorcycle, and then, what, about 2 years into my university life, I had a bad motorcycle accident. That was fun. Let's have a look. Yeah, mate, I know what you mean about, you know, the worst part about any job is usually the customers, because the customer is usually a self-entitled knobend. I mean, for some reason, people have this crazy idea that folks work in, example, McDonald's. I would never give folks in McDonald's shit for doing their job, because that's a hard job. I don't care what anyone says. That is a hard job. Not mentally. Well, mentally, sure. Not physically. It's not very taxing. You don't have to be a brain box to work at Mickey D's. But the idea is you have to deal with so many people. Right? So many people. And you have to get everything done right. And if you don't, you know that some self-entitled suit is going to march in, start screaming, demanding that you get fucking sacked. You know, calling you a moron or some scum of the earth just because you've gone in to get them the food that they asked for. You didn't go to that job because you wanted to flip burgers. I mean, I'm sure some people do, but you know, most people you go to the job because you want to get paid and you want to live. You don't want to get abuse from people, but apparently just because you wear a certain uniform, you're instantly below, or because you serve people, you're below them, and that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I often see people at our local Mickey D's, and they just start, screaming. I'm streaming on everywhere. But yeah, like, I often see people ripping into people in McDonald's or at some random shop, and it's like, well, he fucked up my order, or they fucked up this and they did that. What a fucking idiot. Oh my god, how hard is it to do X, Y, Z? It's like, will you chill the fuck out? Like, they've just come here to do a job. They didn't come here to get ripped into by you. You know? That person could have a fucking doctorate and they're still working at Mickey D's. I've got mates with degrees who are stacking shelves in Asda. You know? At a local supermarket. But then that said, I've also got mates who have zero qualifications at all and are sitting in pretty decent seats of power, so... Oh, shit. My advice is, well, the only two rules I have in life, right? Avoid death and try not to be a cunt. Hey! Well, that's that's how you get Samus's gunship. Just so you know. Let's do one more whilst I'm reading the chat. Yeah, that's it, man. Like, just sometimes you go working in retail, and like Jet said on the YouTube chat, working retail at Christmas. One of the most interesting jobs I'd ever done, and I've done many jobs in my life because I never really settle. I don't really like working for other people, mainly because I don't like other people. But I'm very opinionated, and I don't tend to keep my mouth shut. So if I think you're an asshole, I'll call. Really, if you're an asshole, I'll call you on it, kind of thing. And I'm fine if people do the same thing for me. But one of the more interesting jobs I had to do was, do you remember that film Avatar? And it came out at the same time as the Sherlock Holmes film. That was when 3D was starting to become a big thing in cinemas. My first day working at a local cinema. I say local. Yeah, it was local at the time, so I was living in the city. The first day on the job, I was talking to one of the guys before I even properly walked in to get my uniform on. And someone had literally hurled all over the floor the moment the film had started. Everyone's jumping between chats. Amazing. I tend to stream everywhere, so, watch wherever you feel's better. Twitch, I have a hard floor of 6 megabits per second for the bitrate, but YouTube is variable because Twitch won't give me transcoding. Shit. So... how come the other team always has a fucking goalie and I don't? Am I supposed to be the goalie on my team or what? I won't pay attention to where I started. See, I can remember when I was younger, I used to whine about pretty much every job I did. But it wasn't until I actually took... So I can remember I got a job at a factory, and I whined, like, every day. Oh, this job's going to be beneath me, and only Muppets do that. But when I did the job, that was actually one of the most satisfying and rewarding jobs I've ever done in my goddamn life. Oh, I missed the ball entirely. Jesus Christ. Oh, shit. No job is beneath you, it's just an opportunity. Just remember that if you have to work with customers, ugh, get ready to meet the worst side of humankind. Just saying. Especially retail, Christmas time, my gods. That is trial by fire. If you don't come out of that either mentally scarred or a monk, then... Jesus, like, you know, you just... you managed to come out of that the other side with, like, all limbs intact and not having killed anyone, you're a damn sight tougher than me. Yeah, mate, hardcore noob. I'm the best noob in the world. I wasn't actually supposed to be playing this long, so I'm supposed to be making calls. I did actually, I was like, yeah, mate, I'll get all the calls sorted by, like 10. That's not 10. So this will be the last match, and then I'll go and do my stuff. But feel free to add on the Switch, and I'll get some practice in. Jet, you need to get online at some point as well. We all need to play. Have some PC versus Switch players. Oh, motherfucker. Yeah, I've worked some pretty scummy jobs, but there are still some jobs I don't think I could do. But that's mainly, look, you know, working in old folks' homes. And it's not, I couldn't do that because I'm not a very, I'm not a people person. I'm just not. But if, you know, it's not a case of like, oh, you have to deal with bodily fluids and stuff like that. I've got 2 kids. I'm perfectly cool with that. You know, I've had to raise children. I've worked in schools. I've worked in factories. I've done all that kind of stuff. I'd rather be, at this point though, in my old age, I'd rather be self-employed and poor than doing a job that pays me like 30, 40k a year, 50k a year, and being miserable. I mean, literally, I mean, I spoke to you about this one, didn't I, Chet, once upon a time. I probably earn less than the average person on benefits. Fact. And I'm happy. Well, relatively happy. Other than having to, you know, deal with my wife and kids' drama all the time. But, you know, that's part of being a husband and a father. Life itself is not a problem, just people. Shit. Woo! Fly around the arena. Just for lols. Yeah. Oh, rockin' Flash. You have a good one, dude. Thanks for adding me, by the way. Are you kidding me, Jet? You better be lying to me. Self-serve machines are not allowed to say ho 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 fuck you. They should do though. And thanks for coming in, Flash, man. Seriously. We'll pop into the next stream. Also, who definitely consider picking you up if you wanted to be a part of a streaming team. I'm not streaming as often as because I've been focused on my project in school. That could def work for you. Oh, cool. Well, appreciate it. No flash. 30 or 60, I'm going to take a stab and say 60. Ah, no, I was going to throw him into another match. It plays quite well. Yeah, definitely feel 60 years old. Yeah, definitely too old for this shit, man. Oh, God. Definitely too old for this shit. Considering the last couple days, man, I could really do the next 20 years of my life off. Just saying. But we've got events to set up for, which means that I have to up my game again, and it's not really, it's not my groove. It's not my groove. Need to set up need to set up a load of gear. Need to actually repair a load of gear. So had a load of lights fail. Oh, what the lights? It was the bulbs, but goddamn consumables. Oh, fucking hell, man. But Dewald, Flash in the chat said that setting up a cross-play lobby it's not a thing yet, so I can play against you. Maybe I was misunderstanding what he was saying. We can play together, it's just not really all that simple to set up at the moment. But it should be more of a thing starting next year, so get your practice on, son. Come on, down you come, down you come. Yes, I'll do. And they'll go. Look at him. Woo. None of that. Right, let's have a look. Hang on. So, seems smooth enough. Here's a game that really needs full 60 frames a second. I'd rather take PS1 graphics with 60 frames a second in this game. Yeah. Flat out, mate. In some games, I'm fine with 30, but if the game could really do with it, then 60 is definitely the way forward. You fucking nub. Private match, not party is the way. Okay, cool. I'm going to get the Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 DLC on the Switch, Dewald, at some point. Just because I get more stuff on the Switch than you do on PC. Then again, you could just go out and buy Xenoverse 1, so, you know. I'll be honest, Dewald, graphically this looks plenty fine. It's got some jaggies on it, and, you know, it's not as flash as the PC version, but in the grand scheme, I don't expect it to be. You know, I'd rather have some jaggies, but a solid frame rate. Same with, you know, panic buttons take on... I don't believe I did that. Panic buttons take on Doom. It's not the best looking game in the world. But it's still it's still the entire experience of Doom 2016 in my pocket. You know, and what more do you really want? Maybe in a couple years' time, Nintendo will release the new Nintendo Switch, you know, where they put in more modern mobile hardware, and you'll actually get games running at 1080p 60 pretty solid, because mobile hardware these days fucking powerful compared to what we've got in the Switch. You gotta remember, Switch is pretty old hardware in the grand scheme. It's only just been released, but the hardware inside it is a, you know, It's a slightly tweaked Nvidia Tegra X1 or something like that. Is it the X1? It is the X1, I think. I mean, just the idea that I can play any of these games on a device in my bag that isn't a gaming laptop, because, you know, I was having a chat. Dewald, the funny thing is, right, I had a chat with Ram, you know, PC Gaming Master Race, Suffolk Ram, the other day, and he actually said to me, you know, playing games on the Switch, as long as they've got decent frame rates, reasonable graphics, and they play, like, as long as the experience is there, that it's translated over well to the to the Switch. Like Doom, you get the speed, you get the whole, you get the brutality of it all. So it's, I'd say that's a pretty competent port. He said as long as you get all of that stuff, he'd probably rather play on the Switch than on a laptop, because, you know, gaming laptop, when you're away from a socket, you're going to get, what, an hour's battery life out of it. You know, I mean, I'm thinking about the ROG. I mean, if I played anything that used the Nvidia graphics card, even if it was like Doom 1, you'd get about an hour and 20 minutes out of it, you know? If that graphics card was being used at all, the machine would just, it would suck up batteries like you wouldn't believe, man. It sucked more than a cheap hooker. I'm going to make this one the last match, because I've got some stuff to do. But all in, I'd say this is a competent port. Panic Button are doing cracking jobs, by the way. I think they did the, they might have done the PS4 port as well. Tip it, tip it, tip it. No, tip it. No, don't give it to him, you fool. Tip it. Oh, hello. We've just had another delivery. Ah, come on. Go, go, go. Ah, you scrubby little blue bitch. This is nub mode. Oh, damn. On the second. Oh yeah, you get 30 FPS locked. Which, 30 FPS locked on your laptop, Dewald, when it's in on battery mode, must be a real ball ache though, because let's say it's a game that needs to run at 60. Like, let's say you're trying to play Tekken or whatever. If that, you know, if that game requires 60 FPS and you've been locked. What's up, Rocket Gaming? I'm now actually ending the stream, but check down in the description if you want to play Rocket League on PS4, PC, or Switch. Everything is down in the description. If the Steam and PlayStation if the Steam and PlayStation usernames aren't on there, that's the same as the channel username, or Sk4zZi0uS, Sk4zZi0uS. Are you not allowed to call Lenovo a cunt yet? That's a shame. Alright, and Dewald, I'll call you in a bit. After I get everything done, I'll call you in a bit. Oh, I've just been told that my battery's running out on my laptop I'm using to view the chat. But yeah, seriously, if anyone wants to play Rocket League either later on tonight or later on today, well, at any time, just literally add me on PS4. Oh, well, there you go. Chat's just died. Yeah, just add, because I'm now about to go. I think this is a perfectly competent port. It plays quite well. Controls are nice. Graphics are decent. Frame rate seems pretty solid. Panic Button have done a cracking job. Crossplay is apparently going to be available. It's available now, but to join with other people was apparently a thing next year. Fine with that. We'll do some experiments with that later on tonight. And if you'll want to play, then just add me on Sk4zZi0uS. You can see my username on the bottom left of the stream. I use that username on PS4 and PC, so add me on Steam or PlayStation Network, and my Switch friend code should be in the description of the stream. If you want to play on the Switch, then feel free to add me there. Just ping me a message, and you know, whenever I'm free, we'll play some games. Right, and as soon as I can't see the chat, I can't say see ya. So if you're all calling me cunts, that's fine. I'll see you all later. Whoa, is that the air ambulance? I think we're all about to die. It's about to land on my roof. So I'll see you all a little bit later.